time to say good morning and welcome to Quincy Mayor Thomas Koch for our weekly City Hall updates. Hi, Mayor.
Good morning, Joe.
Missed you last week.
Well, I missed you. You were unavailable, so I kept calling, it kept ringing and ringing and ringing.
You know, I go away for a week, I come back, and the Quincy Fire Department has a total of over $10 million in federal grants. So, how did that happen?
Well, you need to go away more often.
Yeah, I guess I do. Quite a great announcement last week from Congressman Lynch.
Indeed. We got a number of folks in our department, led by Lieutenant Jerry Murphy, who are constantly looking at grant opportunities and writing the grants, the applications. Still, there's a lot of detail to that, But at the end of the day, it's having a champion in D.C. that makes it happen, and we've got a great congressman in Congressman Lynch. He's truly been a great partner. So they get an earmark of $4 million towards the new station we've been discussing. We bought the land for that a couple of years back, diagonally across from the current Central Firehouse. And then once again, we've been the recipient of a SAFER grant, which pays for 16 firefighters for 3 years. You can't go below your current budgeted number, so it's a really good thing for the city of Quincy and to help us continue to man our apparatus at the fullest extent possible. So it's good stuff.
Yeah, I know that the union president, Tom Bowes, specifically credited the grant writers, for helping to bring this money into the city. But also the fact that you can have the best equipment and apparatus and facilities, but if you don't have the staff, they're no good.
Well, that's just it. People drive by the firehouse and see the nice, shiny apparatus and get a sense of security. Well, unless you're properly manned on those pieces of equipment, it's all for naught. Mm-hmm. I mean, in reality, many communities, they have to send 2 or 3 pieces just to get the manpower there to operate one of the vehicles, because you need a minimum amount for each vehicle. For example, a ladder truck, you really need 4 minimum to operate that appropriately. Mm-hmm. Engine, it's a minimum of 3. And many communities, it's less than that, far less than that. So it's very important. And I know we've seen the success, and the chiefs have talked about that. The number of fires we've had have been contained rather quickly, because when you have the manpower, seconds really matter in the fire service, right? So getting there early, knocking it down, having the right manpower to do that, do the search and rescue, operating the pump, it's all part of the activities. But again, it comes down to manpower. So appreciate the efforts of the guys that have written the grants. Appreciate the champion we have in Stephen Lynch securing those grants and having the programs available through the congressional votes. So it's good stuff.
So will it just be the 16, or will there be other recruits also coming on board?
Well, we're calling for more than 16 because we've got, through attrition, a number of openings popping. So again, because of the grant requirement, you can't go below what your budgeted number is. Yep. We're going to maintain those as well.
Okay. And for the new headquarters, what's on that property now, Mayor, across the street that the city purchased?
Nothing, actually.
Oh, okay.
Diagonally across, it's a vacant lot. It was owned by the National Grid. We secured that 2 or 3 years ago now. And now that we're building the public safety headquarters, which is going to include the chief's office, fire prevention, and a number of the administrative type duties that would have been at this, the new firehouse won't be as large or extensive because we don't need that. It'll be more of a straight, simple firehouse. So that'll be a little less money than what we were originally looking at, which is a good thing.
I see. And any decision as to what to do with the current headquarters?
Yeah, my guess is we'll keep it.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, we're renting space around the city for traffic, parking, alarm, and lighting. And we'd be able to put all their equipment in there, which is much light in the fire apparatus.
Mm-hmm.
The apparatus pieces are extremely heavy on those old floors, but their vehicles are much lighter, so we could do that. We're renting now some space in different spots of the city for some of their equipment, so we could put it all under one roof. And all of the they were also involved in the Christmas decorating, the banners and stuff. There's some pretty good storage in that building that would allow us to do that. So that's what we're leaning to right now.
Okay, very good. As I understand, it's about 90 years old right now. So would it need some updates?
Nothing major. Again, the major issues in that building have been, one, you got guys living in there.
Yeah.
And that is always an issue without the proper ventilation and all those things. For example, today's day and age, you don't put the holes in the firehouses anymore because the fumes go up through that chute where the fire and would come down and can contaminate the air and be cancer-causing. So there's a lot of changes in how we design the fire service stations, equipment, how we clean the clothing that they wear when they're at a fire. There's a lot of changes happening, good changes in the fire service today to try to mitigate and minimize the exposure that they receive when they're out there, which leads in many cases to cancer. So, all good.
Interesting. Can we talk a little bit, Mayor, about, as you're well aware, an employee at the Atherton Howe Elementary School placed on leave last week, some kind of a cyber crime investigation. Is there anything more you can add to that?
I really can't.
No.
At this point, that's about all that's been said. It's an allegation. It's being investigated, and as a school department, we're waiting to see what the ultimate outcome of that investigation will be. But we can assure everyone that teachers and staff of that building and students are safe. There's no issues. So we'll keep people apprised as the investigation continues.
Was it a teacher or another worker?
I can't say.
Can't say that. And it made me wonder, is it connected at all to the email hack that's happened to a couple of city emails?
Definitely not.
No.
That happens from time to time. I remember a couple of years ago me getting calls from department heads. They got an email supposedly from me that I needed help, So, if it seems out of order, people should really check before they respond or open anything up because it can contain a virus. They're looking for information that can really cause havoc. So use your judgment, folks out there, when you're looking at these things. I mean, there's a lot of criminals out there on the internet as well, looking to create havoc and score some easy money. So be careful out there.
Yeah, I know at least the city solicitor and the health commissioner's emails have been hacked. There may be others as well, so folks should be very cautious about any emails they receive for sure.
Absolutely.
Mayor, tomorrow I guess we could call John Adams Day here in Quincy, really. It's certainly the 289th birthday anniversary wreath-laying ceremony, but also tomorrow night a major event up at the high school regarding the new John Adams Presidential Center.
Indeed. It's the John Adams birthday each year is celebrated with the wreath laying, which is sent from the president from the White House, which was started by Lyndon Johnson many, many years ago. And it also includes, I know we have representatives from Quincy High, North Quincy High, and Wooded School that participate in the program. And, of course, usually a member of the Adams family and a number of other guests. So it's always a great event to do the wreath laying with the pomp and circumstance. I know the Quincy Choral Society usually sings at it. It's usually a beautiful event.
Yeah.
Then, of course, as you know, the Adams Presidential Center, though there is no building yet, there's a lot happening, and they're putting together a number of programs. So this is really the first, I think, that'll be a series for them, having a discussion. They're going to be using the auditorium at Quincy High School, and they have some experts coming in. I think the head of Monticello, and I know Danielle Allen from Harvard, who's also on the board. The third name escapes me at the moment, the third person. But these are some heavy hitters in the world of history.
Yeah.
And we're delighted that, the chairman of the board, Joe Dunford, put this together. It was his idea, along with, obviously, the help of the staff. And, of course, this will be also Craig Graham's debut, the new director of the library, who was hired just recently by the board and from the Truman Library. Did a stint with the H.W. Bush Library. He's really quite a guy and has an extensive resume and record in presidential library world. So things seem to be coming together nicely, and looking forward to it. So it's I think you may have in front of you, Joe, but I believe a reservation is required. And I know that they had about a couple hundred folks registered for for the event. It should be a great event.
Yep, adamspresidentialcenter.org is the website. It is free. It is open to the public. It's being hosted by the Institute for Civic Leadership. This is the inaugural Adams Speaker Series called Passion for the Public Good and Civic Education. Tomorrow night, October 30th, 5 to 7 p.m. at Quincy High School.
And I think it's gonna play a great role going forward in civic education in our school system. There's been a lot of discussion, as you know, Joe, and back and forth about what we should be teaching, shouldn't be teaching, what's real, what isn't, what's history, what isn't history. Mm-hmm. And I think this is really going to set the table for what's appropriate going forward. So looking forward to it.
Absolutely. Mayor, always good to talk to you. Next time we talk, it'll be Election Day.
Wow, and then we'll be coming up on the veterans events.
That's right. And then it's right into the holiday season.
There is a correlation there, when you think about it. Well, how lucky we are to still be able to go out and vote. Many countries in the world would love that opportunity.
This is very true. And I know here in Quincy...
But we'll be glad when it's over.
Well, I think a lot of people feel the same way. And I know here in Quincy, the city clerk's predicting upwards of perhaps an 80% turnout for the presidential election, so that would be great.
Wow.
Yeah.
It is good stuff. I know they've been dealing with the early voting, and they've got the mail-in voting, so hopefully the lines won't be too badly Election Day. But Nikki Crispo and her crew, they do a great job.
Yep, I can attest. They help us out tremendously to get information out to the community, so thank them for that, and thank you.